Hello, so I've decided, instead of documenting my build online via forums, that I want to do it via YouTube. So I'm going to start by filling you in on my loft. I'm going to say conversion, although it's not a proper conversion, but what I'm doing. So obviously when I came up to the loft, I've got some pictures which I took before the work started, which I might upload into this video. The installation was already down, but the main thing with my loft is the beam that runs from one side of the loft to the other, and they run sort of all the way across to the other side of the loft. You can just see there as well. I can't really move them, so I'm just going to have to make do and move around them. I could get a structural engineer in to replace them and remove them, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave them where they are. They're not too much in the way. I can get under there and through there quite easily while I've been doing this work, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just using the basic loft boards, which you can get from any DIY store, and I'm using these loft legs, which take it above the insulation, which is quite important, because if I was to screw these planks directly down to the beams, I probably wouldn't be able to, but I'd also heavily compress the insulation, which is not good. These, you get like a box of 12 for like a 10-11 pound, so it's worth doing. And the wood that I've been using is just high density chipboard. You get a pack of 3 for 8 quid, I think it is, or you get 3 packs of 3 for 21 quid. I got the wood itself from B&Q, and the loft legs I got from Homebase. B&Q do their own ones, but they didn't work for me. I did try them because they've got clips which come over here and down onto the rafters, whereas these just literally sit flush on the rafters and you just screw them in, so they work a lot better for me, and they were actually about £1 cheaper for a box of 12, and I think they're a lot more sturdy as well. So I went for those, but the wood I bought from B&Q, and just because of the way they join with this bit into this bit, a bit like laminate flooring. I was going to go to the Homebase panels as well, but they don't mix, and they're not that much different in price, so although I have to go to 2 shops whenever I want to buy wood. And then the legs, I think it's worth it, it works for me, and they're literally right next to each other anyway, so I haven't got to go massively out of my way. So yeah, so I've boarded from one side all the way across there. I started with that because that was the biggest open space, which meant I knew I wouldn't have to start messing around with cutting wood. They say you should start from the hatch and work your way out, but I think it would have been a lot easier, which it was for me, to just board across the biggest open area and then do the smaller cuts, which I've had to do here around the beams and stuff. The rafters themselves are sort of lined with this material here, sort of just like a membrane, but that area over there, if I go over, it wasn't done. I don't know if you can actually see that, but it's sort of falling apart and needs replacing, so I've got some more of that which I'm going to put in there. I might put an extra panel in there if I've got one spare at the end, but I'm not really going to be in that corner. I'm probably going to use this area for fiddle yard, or maybe even just some sort of storage area, so I didn't feel the need to put that in, but if I've got one spare I'll put that in at the end. And then once I've done the area here, I'm going to take this foil, which is designed for lofts, sort of like that, and that'll go across the rafters. Sorry, I don't know what they're called, I'm just going to say rafters. And then they'll go up in all the way up to keep it insulated. I had to put this light in as well. I got my father-in-law to do the electrics. He is certified home electrician, and then I've put my power in here for now, and I've got the option to run another power if, maybe over there or somewhere over there, but for now I've got enough power there. And this light, eventually when I get to that side, as you can see, this still needs sorting. When I get to that side I'll probably put another light up there, but just this one light on its own lights up my main area here quite well. I mean, it's just using my phone camera. That's a LED fluorescent with a diffuser in, which does make a difference. I've seen a couple of people on YouTube saying to get a diffuser, it does really make a difference as opposed to just a solid light with the glass on there. So I recommend getting a diffuser in that, and that was only 40 quid, and it's LEDs, so it's very little power draw, and obviously saves money on the electric. This wall here is the next door neighbour's wall. I don't know how they've done it, but this area is ours, and got this weird cutout, so beyond there is next door, because it's semi-detached, whereas that side is the end of the terrace, so I've got nothing on that side of the wall. But this side I'm just going to leave. Yeah, a lot of people do just leave it or paint it, but I'm just going to leave it. It really doesn't bother me in the slightest. And then just got to do a bit of a general clean. And yeah, so the one thing I've found is the beams. Get under here. So these are the rafters here, which the loft legs screw in, which you can see there. They bring the floor up, say above the insulation. However, I found on these beams here, they're obviously more weight bearing and thicker. The actual rafter sits a lot higher than this one. So the loft legs, I'll put one on there, you see it sits higher, which is not good. And you obviously can't cut these because they're designed to support the weight the way they are. And even if you did cut it, you take it off there, you're going to lose the bottom where you screw in. You take it off the top, and you're going to lose the bit where you put the board on. So pointless cutting them. So what I did, I've got some quite strong timber, cut them into these blocks here, as you can see running there, and they just sit in and they bring it up to the same height, and then just screw down in there. Not going to be doing too much weight bearing on this, as I'll probably be stepping through here and here, so I'm not going to be stepping on here or putting any weight, or when I build baseboards I won't be putting baseboards on this area anyway. It literally just is to hold it steady and keep it the same height. And yeah, I'm gonna, that sheet whatever there, I'm gonna sort of do a sort of finishing edge around here, because I want this area that I'm standing in now to be lower, so that when the loft ladder gets put in, which I haven't done yet, it will come up and probably slot into this area here. So I want it to have an area there. Sorry about that, that was the postman, and he was one of my new trains which I've ordered. I'm not going to show you any of that yet, because I'm going to do that when I get into the build, and when I've actually finished on my planning. I am still nearly finished on my planning, but I'm going to reveal all of that as to what locos and rolling stock that I've actually got. When it comes into it, I might even cover a bit of that in the next video. I'm not quite sure the frequency of these videos. I'm not even sure how many people will watch these. If anything, it's just for me to look back on and document my work, which I'm quite happy about. But yeah, so if you have got any questions as to what I'm doing, I'll answer the best as I can. I'm not going to get into the electrics, because I didn't really do those, so I can't really answer too much. But if it's something simple, I might be able to. But in terms of what I'm doing here, now when I've cut around these beams here, I can just carry on going straight this way. Come out this way, I obviously have to cut around this one, and then board right up to there, and I should then have this whole area. Obviously that'll be where the loft ladder comes up and in there, and then all that area will be boarded in that, and just sort through some of these few bits here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. As I said, if you have got any questions, I'll try my best to answer them, but I'm in no way anywhere near some of the level of knowledge and professionalism of some of the other YouTubers about. But yeah, that's it. I'm going to start rolling on now. Cheers. Okay, so this is probably going to be either an add-on to the first video or the second video itself. Just done a bit more work since the last time I filmed, so I thought I'd sort of keep it updated. I'm not actually sure what I had done on the last video, so I'll sort of go through it. I'm pretty sure that this area here was new, so it's boarded up to sort of this area there, where I've had to stop because there's some pipes. I need to have a little think about how to get around that. And then again, this area I've gone back up that way, where I will eventually board, carry on down there, where that beam is there, go behind that, run along, and then join back up to there. So it's sort of like a crawl round. This area here is my next area to tackle. All the loft stuff needs to be moved out of the way. You can see I've got water tanks and heaters and stuff here. I'm going to box them in. But what I am thinking of doing in my planning, which I was having to think about last night, is this is obviously going to be my main layout area. And then I'm going to have probably about that height there, maybe a bit higher or lower, I'm not sure. Just a run around loop, and then maybe come between this beam here, this side of that's the chimney stack, around, and then back around into the main area. So I've got like a run around loop. In this area here, this is sort of like the recess, which I think I spoke about in the last video. Just still got to tidy up the edges there. Obviously the other main thing I've done is put the foil in, which is done two things. Obviously it's helped insulate, but it's also helped the light bounce around, so you know that corner is actually quite lit up compared to what it was before. I've not yet compared it to the last video, but the black lining you've seen is the new membrane, which I've had to tidy up around the edges there, just couldn't get in, and that's just an old vent I've covered up and sealed to stop the draft coming through. Again, still not sure about that board yet, but this foil really does help bounce the light around, and obviously protects from all the nasty stuff getting in. Obviously use this foil tape there to seal everything in, and it's laborious, painstaking, and my hand hurts from all the stapling, but I promise you it's worth it compared to this, which is the next area that obviously needs doing. So I've probably only done about a quarter, but I went down to buy some more foil today, and they didn't have any in stock, so I've got to wait till next week before I can buy some more. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I've been thinking more about the planning. This area here is probably going to be my main working area, maybe some sort of fiddle yarn over there, and like I said a minute ago, have a run around there. I'll probably board that off, put some access panels in, i.e. sort of on the vertical, so I can get in if there's any derailments or issues and cleaning and stuff going around that. And yeah, so that's it. Again, just another short update, but I'll probably add this onto the first video or make it a second video, as I said. Don't need to look at all my tools. Well, I might as well actually, seeing as I'm in this area. All I've been using is just a couple of drills, a couple of hand saws. I've got a jigsaw downstairs as well. Obviously I've not been doing the cutting up here. And so for anybody who's concerned about doing this sort of DIY task, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Especially those loft legs, they make life a lot easier. You literally just screw them into the rafters and the board's onto that. Anybody can do it. It is very simple. I think I've covered this before, but I'm going to do it again. So literally that's the rafter there. And then just 4 screws in, one either side of the 2 panels. And that is honestly it. Once you get one on, and then you move across, it is very, very easy. Don't be put off by it. It's honestly, there's a little bit of a dip there, so don't worry about that. It's just a rafter, I can't do anything about that. Don't be put off by it. Even all this, it's time consuming, but it is a very easy DIY job, and it's not been as expensive as I thought it was going to be. The wood alone was cheap, so you get 3 boards in a pack, and you get 3 packs, so 9 boards for like 21 quid. That's done 1, 2, 3, so that's just 20 quid there. And the legs, you know, you've got probably using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 for 3 boards, and as you carry on, that leg's moved over, so you start with 12, and then you're only using 9 legs every time, so you always have to have 3 legs left over in the box every time, so you actually save money there as well. And the foils £10 a roll. It's about 10 metre roll. It's just about the right width for me as well. Pin it on the edge of the rafter down one side, and then push the side in. Don't staple it or anything. And take the other side and push it in there, and then you recess it, staple up the sides. One thing you've got to do is leave 50mm gap there, and then the foil takes up that gap there. You need the 50mm gap to let the air go through, so you can see there you've got quite a deep rafter. I've only gone in a short amount. I've left quite a gap to let the air run through, and that is really important to do. And again with the new membrane as well, left a gap between the new membrane. Yeah, I'm not really sure whether to sort of turn this into a how-to series. If anybody's interested, I'll go into more detail, but that was my progress so far. Yeah, I think the next video will be a few more bits up here and then into planning at least. Cheers, bye.